Hey Aries, welcome to your forecast for May 17th through the 23rd. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We are coming into some really heavy energies as we're approaching the lunar eclipse on the 26th of the following week, the coming week. But we may be already feeling those energies coming in starting this week. So we're going to see what's happening for the Aries collective. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest, my dears. So let's see what's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. Okay, so first card is the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords traditionally can have to do with conflicts, disagreements, drama, arguing, this kind of thing. But Knight of Swords can also indicate things happening quickly and things happening very swiftly. And as I'm looking at the Knight of Swords, those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I read intuitively, okay? I know the traditional meaning of the cards, but sometimes I get a certain vibe or a certain energy around that card, which is also why I don't read reversals, because I can usually feel the energy if it would be upright or reversed. So the vibe that I'm getting from the Knight of Swords as I'm looking at it for you guys, Aries, it almost feels to me like you are heading towards putting an end to some kind of an injustice or righting some kind of wrong. I feel like you're the knight on the sword, right? I feel like you're the knight with the sword on the horse, and I feel like you're charging and you're like stop right there kind of energy. So that's the vibe that I'm getting from the card. You might be intervening or interfering in somebody else's situation. You might be just seeing something that's really getting to you and you're like, I cannot stand by and watch this anymore, right? Like Aries, you guys typically aren't known to be like pushovers, right? You guys aren't known to be a timid energy or a timid sign. And so for some of you, that's come very naturally in your life. You're a strong person. You don't let people walk all over you. And I feel there's some kind of situation where you feel like somebody else is being pushed around and you're stepping up or you're standing up for that person. You're standing up in that situation. You're saying this is not going to continue anymore. It could be in a workplace situation where some of you are stepping up and actually deciding to testify, because I'm hearing deposition. I heard deposition. And I know what a deposition is because I used to work in law offices and stuff, but deposition basically is like something might be going to trial, it might not, and they want to get everybody's story written down. They want to get it in writing, so they can like kind of look at the case and decide if they're going to go to trial or not, right? It also keeps people from being able to change their story once they're on the witness stand. It just kind of like locks down the facts of the case. So I feel like something might be happening here where you're deciding to speak up, and for some of you there may be a legal situation or a legal issue. I'm not sure why I'm getting a workplace vibe, but I am. So maybe there's been some kind of unfair treatment or discrimination or some kind of harassment that's been happening, and you're deciding, you know what, I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna say something because I don't want this on my conscience, or like this is the right thing to do. Obviously, it won't be something that dramatic for every single one of you. You might be stepping up and standing up for a friend. You might be putting somebody in their place because you feel like they're going too far or they're being rude to people. And so there's like this energy, I feel like you're stepping up and you're intervening. You're putting an end to something unfair. And that makes sense because as we're coming into the energies that are shifting, as we're coming into this time of awakening, there's a lot happening with a sense of justice, like fairness, ethics, justice, rules, laws, order, doing the right thing. And I feel like, Aries, you guys are really feeling it in the sense of you're realizing how powerful you are and you're being more cautious with your power. Like, you know that there's some instances that you can't come in with the smackdown because they're not ready for it, or they maybe didn't know any better, and so you're kind of like being cautious with your power. You're being more you're choosing more wisely when you're gonna flex on somebody and when you're not. So when you see somebody going in and taking advantage and like steamrolling over other people, I feel like it's starting to really get to you. So there's some kind of like standing up that you're doing. Some of you may be going into advocacy of some kind. Maybe you're wanting to get into like, speaking up for people who don't have a voice. Maybe you're wanting to be, a representative that's going and helping people through legal stuff. Or maybe you're wanting to, do some kind of a social justice kind of stuff. But I feel there's this sense or this desire to stand up for people that you see they can't stand up for themselves. Your next card here, my darlings, is the Death card. Wow, this is really significant energy. Okay, so we all know, right? A lot of you guys watch tarot readings, and we all know that when court cards come up, it's traditionally said that's another people in a situation. And when the Major Arcana card comes up, sometimes it can be read as that zodiac sign is here involved in the situation. But if you're new here, in the weekly forecasts, I focus on everything other than love. I do a monthly love reading. That's linked in the description. And in the weekly forecast, I try to focus on you and your energy, less on other people and more about you and what's going on with you. So some of you may be stepping into or being very influenced by the Scorpio energy we're kind of coming out of. We, not that long ago, had that full moon in Scorpio, which did a doozy on a lot of people. Okay, and so a lot of you are still feeling the effects of that energy, where you're coming out of it reborn. You're coming out of it like the phoenix bird rising from the ashes, right? You're coming out of it born again, or was like this renewed sense of identity or purpose. The Death card for me a lot of the times in readings can indicate someone who's, well, I just got really emotional. I'm sorry, guys. My grandma just stepped in here, and she does not usually do that. I need to pause for a moment here and see why grandma's here. Give me a moment. Ooh, okay, sorry. I am back. Alrighty. There won't be a whole lot that I will share about that. That was so very random. So very random. But you know what? It happens for a reason, and the connection that I will share with you guys, Aries, I will say this. I feel like a lot of you might be going onto a path where you may feel as though you're going to be sacrificing certain relationships or certain circumstances in your life as you're moving forward, especially like if you're speaking up for somebody, or if you're putting an end to some kind of injustice, or you're just wanting to do the right thing and live your life in the way that you feel is the right way to live your life. Some of you might feel like there's being sacrifices being made in that way. Like you're not in the energy where you necessarily want to go and cut people off, but you might feel like people are not supporting you in that decision. And so there might be relationships or situations that are just kind of falling away, like dead leaves on a tree, just kind of dropping. And so some of you might be making some kind of sacrifices as you're going in this new direction. Okay, I'm not going to get into why my grandma was here or what she said to me, but this is tied into the energy. So I want you to know, Aries, that her coming in at this time signifies for you guys. The message I want to give you is, though you might feel there's some sacrifices that you're making, it will be revealed in time in the end that you did the right thing, and certain relationships will be healed. Okay, will be healed. And when you're coming from a place of love, and you're acting in a place of love and not ego, it's gonna turn out well. It's gonna turn out well, and in the end there will be resolution. In the end there will be peace. In the end there will be acceptance. Okay, there will be acceptance. So know and understand that though some of these decisions might be difficult for you because you feel like you might be losing support of loved ones, or people are looking at you like you're changing, or you're not being loyal to them in some kind of way, in the end these are going to be things that work out. Okay, that's what I want you to know from my grandma's energy. But in terms of the Death card, as I was saying, there can be a sense of ego death that comes in with this, when all of a sudden you start feeling like You don't enjoy the people that you hung out with, that you used to like hanging out with them. You don't enjoy it anymore. You maybe don't enjoy the same music or the bands or the artists that you used to enjoy, the TV shows, the movies, and you start maybe thinking like, man, nothing brings me happiness, nothing brings me joy. I don't like anything anymore. It can be a scary feeling when we start going through that transition, because it's like you don't even know yourself anymore. But your energy is shifting, so you're no longer being attracted to what you used to be attracted to, and your conditioning is falling away. You're going back to your authentic self. So you're coming into a time period. Keep in mind, this is a major arcana. Major arcana cards only come in when we're coming into a new chapter, a new cycle, a new phase, a significant defining moment in our life. And the death card is about endings and new beginnings. And so when it comes in with ego death, it's like you're getting to know who you truly are, not who you were taught to be, not who you were conditioned to be, but who you truly are. Okay? And so just go gentle with yourself, go easy with yourself, and treat life as like this buffet. You know, if you've ever been to a buffet, there's a lot of things that look good, and you might take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you kind of try and you see what you like, and then you might go back and really fill your plate, right? So it's going to be a process of trial and error as you're getting to know yourself. Do I like this? Do I like that? You know, you're not going to know unless you taste, unless you try. And so be patient with that process, and don't let it scare you. It won't stay like that forever. Okay, you're just kind of figuring out who you are and getting rid of who you were taught to be, or what you were taught to like or conditioned to like. Your next card here is the Seven of Cups. This is that overwhelming energy when you're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know to go left. I don't know to go right. There's one very positive thing that comes in with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups can also be like an amazement, where you're very amazed at the way a door opened or how something worked out, where you're just kind of really baffled, like, whoa, what just happened? So there could be some kind of miraculous resolution coming in for you very, very soon. Excuse me. For those of you that resonated with the message of like wanting a resolution, it may be coming in sooner than you had anticipated, and you may be very amazed at how it happened, the way that I was very amazed when my grandma came in, because she was super against tarot and super against all this kind of stuff. So that was amazing to me. So some of you might have something very amazing happening here, in terms of like you're very surprised at how a certain door opened or something was resolved. But Seven of Cups comes up a lot of the times when we're having a hard time making a decision what we want to choose. Okay, the positive aspect about this, keep in mind, as we're coming into the solar eclipse. I keep saying solar, it's not solar, it's lunar. As we're coming into the lunar, the eclipse, the supermoon eclipse that's coming up in the following week, we're breaking out of limited thinking and things that no longer serve us. So when we break out of limited thinking, we might get a little bit overwhelmed, because first we felt stuck because we felt there was no way out. Then we see that, oh wow, not only is there a way out, there are several ways out. Which one do I choose? Which one do I pick? I always give you the example, not the example, but the recommendation. Write down everything that comes to your mind, things that you're thinking you might want to do to change up your life, or directions you're thinking of going in, or things that you're thinking of, learning or picking up. Write it all out, make a list, and then take your time, one by one, daydream, imagine yourself living that life, having made that decision, and pay attention to the feelings that you're feeling in your heart while you're imagining it in your mind. Which ones give you the most sense of happiness? Which ones just kind of feel right to you, or give you a sense of, man, I'm looking forward to that future? Write that down. Make a note of that. Then you have like a shorter list, or you have a list of knowing which one makes you happier. And then you can take that list of the ones that make you happier, or the ones that seem to be like in priority order, and one by one start to do research. What do I have to do to make that happen? Do I need to invest in some kind of equipment? How might I come up with the funds to do that? Do I need to get some kind of certificate or training? Would I have to move? How might I do that? What might rent or property be going for there? What might be a good way to do that transition? Maybe I can go and get an Airbnb for a while and check it out. Like, do the whole thing of doing the research. Okay. And then once you have the research down, you're going to know immediately, you're going to know right away which are the things that you can start on now and which ones are going to be the more long term goals. Okay, which ones are going to be the things that you can do later on down the line in the future, because they might be a little bit more complex, they might require a little bit more time or a little bit more money. So as you do the easier ones, that is going to fund the bigger ones. Okay, and so that way you're not going to feel stuck anymore. You're going to know which direction to go in. Your next card here, Aries, is the Eight of Swords. We talked about feeling stuck. We talked about feeling trapped, right? With that Seven of Cups, there's so many options. You're feeling stuck. You're feeling trapped. In this week, the 17th through the 23rd, or whenever you happen to fall upon this video, you might see the possibilities, but you might still be struggling with the limited thinking of all the reasons why you think it can't happen, right? Oh, but it won't work because of this. Oh, but it won't work because of that. You might still be influenced by the limited beliefs. The good news that I can give you is, as we're coming into the lunar eclipse, the supermoon of the following week, and as we continue to move through that energy, a lot of this old thinking is just going to start falling away, because we're getting like this energetic upload. Okay, we're getting like this energetic reboot, restart. So eventually, when you're ready, right, these limited beliefs will start to fall away. But as the possibilities begin to reveal themselves to you, the negative ego or the old mind might still be creeping up for you guys this week. Know and understand that a lot of you might feel like, but how can I do it? Because I'm losing support. People don't believe in me. People aren't supporting these decisions. They don't think it's a good idea. So I'm on hold here. I'm on the back burner until I find the right people to do this with. And the Eight of Swords says that's not correct. If you're sitting in this energy waiting for the right people to come in, you're in sitting duck energy. You're not alert. You don't know what's going on. And so there's this energy here of people that might come in and take advantage, people who might come in and be a bit of an opportunist, right? So we're gonna find out that when we're waiting for people to come in and help us, and we're in this energy, we might attract people who are taking advantage. And so Spirit is saying that you're not as stuck as you think you are. You can shimmy out of those binds pretty easily. You can push that blindfold off your eyes pretty easily. And then you'll see that you're not really that stuck at all. Heck, you can pull a couple of those swords out of the ground and take them as tools, take them as protection. Okay, so it's not as bad as it seems. You're not as stuck as you think. And once you start working forward, once you start walking forward in your badass energy, that's when you get to connect with all the other badasses. The people who are gonna not be thinking limited, the people who aren't gonna be discouraging, the people who aren't looking at life through a negative lens, right? People who are not in that mentality of it's too hard, don't do it. Okay, people who are like, yeah, we can do it, like we can do it, then you're gonna have a different energy, but it's stepping away from the current circle. Okay, you may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those may resonate with you more than others. It might add a little extra information. If you're looking for love and romance, you may want to check out the May love readings that are linked in the description. If you're looking for a private reading with me, you can schedule at calendly.com/amethystangelite. And the podcast about manifestation and energy and all that stuff that I've been wanting to do, I'm going to be doing them in the next few days. And knock on wood, hopefully I won't be traveling again for a while. And if that is the case, I'm going to be able to go ahead and be more consistent with posting the videos and have a regular day and time for the podcast, and do that consistently and do it live so that you guys can call in. Okay, you guys can call in with questions. You guys can call in and share some of your experiences. Maybe I'll do certain episodes where I'll pull cards for callers and we can interact a little bit more. I'm working on it. I cannot thank you enough for your continued patience and love and support. I thank you so much, guys, for being here, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you all the very best. Bye, Aries.